now watching Compton Rick Rock TV. Let's get to the content.
All right, man, we back again here at Compton Rick Rock TV, man. I see y'all been tapping in, watching the videos all the way through. I salute y'all for that. Matter of fact, let me give y'all a applause. Yeah, man, it's always good when I get y'all attention, man, and keep y'all watching. I appreciate all of y'all. But I want to talk about a few things, man. It's my last video of the day. I'm getting old, so I'm going to bed early tonight and get me some good rest. I need me some good sleep. I've been grinding on this YouTube thing. But look, man, this is what I want to get to, man. I seen one of my partners, OG ENT TV. He had a video last night that he put up and it said most of California supposed to be gang members on YouTube is a disgrace to banging. Now, I get where he coming from. You know what I'm saying? I get where he coming from, but I wanna go a little further than that. You know what I'm saying? I always like to challenge guys on here, you know what I'm saying? And this my people, he from my city. And this really don't, what I'm about to say really is not target towards him, because he had his point of view, and his whole thing was the dudes that's on the internet, the ones that you see going back and forth. I also played a part of that, you know, once upon a time, being on here myself, you know what I'm saying, going back and forth arguing, which I would not be doing anymore, going back and forth arguing with no man on the internet. It was cool for the content, it was cool for the numbers, but at some point it's like, man, dude right around the corner. Why is you on YouTube and he around the corner? If you really that mad, go around there and handle your business. You ain't gotta tell him you pulling up. He stay around the corner. Wait for him to come outside and holler at him like a man, or put foot or belt to ass, like they say. But anyway, man, I would not be arguing with anybody on the internet, man. That's crazy. And he also spoke on that himself. He said a lot of guys who you see arguing on here, it makes it look real weak when guys is arguing. Like I say, when everybody know where everybody's at. Nobody is hard to find. Even if it's a dude who think he hides somewhere, 9 times out of 10 his family members over there. If he got a cousin, a brother, somebody kicked him in the ears and he'd come pop up. Just keep on kicking them in it till they pop up. And that's crazy to say, but if you was really on that type of time and you was really mad at somebody, you'll do whatever you had to do to either go talk to him like a man face to face, or you'll make him come out of hide and come play the game. So it was a lot of stuff on there, but this is what I want to say. I want to say this: the guys who own the internet are just the guys who own the internet. And it's only a few people that's on here, you know what I mean? So when people from other places look at these guys on the internet, 9 times out of 10, they only speaking to us that's on here. They not speaking to the people that they don't know, because they don't see them people on the internet. Now, the ones that's on the internet, do they conduct themselves like gangsters? I don't think that nobody is trying to be a gangster on here. I think a lot of these guys is, like I say all the time, I don't know where they get this misconstrued at. A lot of people trying to get them a check. A lot of people on here to get a check. Nobody is on here, you know, trying to keep it too gangster. Because like I say, anybody that loads up a video every single day going back and forth, it do look crazy when you could just pull up on that man and let out some of that aggression that you really got. So I don't think that some of this stuff be that serious. But let's take it further than that. Okay, let's go back to when a lot of dudes was young, 15, 14, and 16. Okay. Now, the title was most of California supposed to be gang members on YouTube is a disgrace to banging. Okay. Let's go back to when some of these dudes was kids, and you had the older dudes, the older guys who were still in the streets, who were allowed the 14, the 15, and the 16-year-old to hang around them when they was 21, 22, 23, and up. if a lot of the older dudes would have said, you know what, them kids, because them is kids. I don't care how you look at it. Anybody, teenager, 15, 14, 13, 12, you would see some of these guys that age hanging out on the block with guys that's old enough to be their uncles. Old enough to be their uncles. They hang out on the block. If a lot of dudes would have said, hey, man, what is these kids doing at the dope spot? What are these kids doing with a pistol on them? It seems like now when you look back, you can't find not one older guy who was on that type of time that say, hey, you can't hang over here. Get them kids up out the spot. Why is them kids in the spot? If the older guys would have just kept it to they circle, this they thing, and what they want to do, you wouldn't have a lot of guys right now that's still carrying on the same mentality. So we got to look further than the YouTube stuff. The YouTube stuff, like I say, anytime it's some money involved, you definitely gonna have a whole bunch of nonsense. You're gonna have a whole bunch of comedy. You're gonna have a whole bunch of drama when there's money involved. You can see it here. You can see it now. Everybody on here acting a straight fool. I don't think it's the guys on YouTube that's making California look weak or make a disgrace. I think that a lot of this stuff that we doing in general make it look like a disgrace, because at the end of the day, who's going to take the lead in some of these hoods? Who's going to take charge in some of these neighborhoods and say, man, we fit to go over here and squash this beef that we got with these fools over here? Nobody is taking initiative to do that, because nobody wants to look weak. Nobody want to look like the buster. Nobody want to look like the sucker that say, man, I went over there and talked to them dudes and everything is cool. And then those dudes or these dudes go back and get into it. And it's like, man, didn't you say, so nobody want that responsibility of trying to squash anything. What do y'all think? Do y'all think the guys on the internet is making banging look like a disgrace? Or do you think the guys that's on the internet is too old to even be talking about banging? You gonna be where you from. You gonna represent where you from. You gonna represent that gang where you from, or whatever neighborhood or area that you come from. You gonna always be from where you from. Can't nobody. That's just common sense, right? But if you on the internet and you on here banging, you making yourself look like a disgrace. You making yourself look crazy because you ain't got to be extra out. Everybody know where we from. We ain't got to be on here displaying it every day, all day. A Crip this, blood this. We ain't got to do that. Y'all barely hear me even say that. I ain't got to get on here and be extra out and throw the set up and yell a hood out. No, we ain't got to do that, man. We on here to get this paper, man. That's why I do reactions, so I don't have to bring up stuff that's going on in the city of Compton, in the streets. I don't have to do that. I just talk about the majority of stuff that I see on here. So I don't think that the guys on the internet is making California or banging look like a disgrace. I think that the individuals that's on here doing the foolishness is making themselves look like a disgrace, because there's still people in them areas, in them neighborhoods. They just don't get on the internet. They don't care to get on the internet. And when you look at majority of dudes in Southern California that's on the internet, if you really think about it, the majority of these dudes is 30 to 50. You know what I'm saying? Or you got a few that's in their 60s, but it's all guys who old enough to know better. It's not no kids on here. You don't see nobody watching no teenagers on here. You don't even see the teenagers on, unless you see them on one of them hood vlogs or something like that. But they don't have no channel to where they on here doing most of the stuff that the full-fledged adults is doing. The dudes that's in their 30s, 40s, and like I say, 50s is the ones that's keeping up all the nonsense on the internet. They make themselves look crazy. They don't make their hood look crazy, because like I say, their hood is not on the internet. It's them on the internet. I just wanted to speak on that, man, because when I seen that, You know, like they say, these titles is, you know, could be clickbait. These titles could be something to make you click on it. But at the end of the day, these are just these guys, you know, including myself, our personal opinion on things. That don't mean that it's valid or it mean anything, because you could come out here and like I seen Spider Loke and Poetic Flacco today, when Poetic Flacco was calling the gang members marks because of Charleston White then came out here. Nobody did nothing to him and so forth. Charleston White is not stepping in the lion's den. And the few dudes that he ran into that's gang members on the internet wasn't nothing probably but some clout chasers. Them wasn't no guys that was, he wasn't in nobody's neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? He go up in somebody's neighborhood. It might be some people that take what he said offensive and do something to him. He know exactly where to go, man. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here with this one, man. It's Compton Rick Rock with Compton Rick Rock TV. It wasn't a reaction. It was just me speaking on something that I've seen at most of California. Supposed to be gang members on YouTube is a disgrace to banging. No, they are a disgrace to themselves. It's Compton Rick Rock with Compton Rick Rock TV. Shout out OGENT. Man, let's go to his channel. Matter of fact, while we over here, let's go to his channel. Y'all can check out the video that I'm talking about. Here it is on OGENT TV, and the video is the last video that he put up 1 day ago. So y'all go over there, click on that, and check out what he had to say about that, man. It's Compton Rick Rock with Compton Rick Rock TV. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. I'll catch all of y'all on the next one. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, Compton Rick Rock TV. Also, hit that notification bell and catch every video when I drop.